Just some of the news of the week that was. Welcome to Sunday Square Off. On this Labor Day weekend, we are taking a break from the daily news and devoting the show to what might be one of Arizona's more important stories over the last 15 years, the transformation of Arizona State University. If you haven't been following the ASU story, it's not the nation's top party school anymore. It hasn't cracked the top 20 list in 6 years. But ASU President Michael Crow is making a list of possible candidates to be the next president of Harvard University. During Crow's 15 years leading ASU, the school he's branded as the new American university has become a mega university. The new school year starts with 73,000 students on campus. But look at ASU's online enrollment in green. It's gone from 0 in 2009 to more than 30,000 today. Arizona State University is educating 103,000 students in this new school year. Michael Crow and I spent a recent morning together in his office and at an ASU research lab. We talked about whether ASU is becoming the Amazon.com of education, everything for every student, what's behind the school's research boom, what Donald Trump means to higher ed, and whether Crow wants that Harvard job. Here's an edited version of our conversation. Give us 3 snapshots of how much this university has changed, things that show us how the university has changed since you took over 15 years ago and why they've changed.
We're no longer internally focused. We're no longer just worrying about academic outcomes and papers and so forth. We're worried about the success of the community. Our kids graduating from high school, our jobs being created, is the economy advancing, our new ideas moving forward, our artists able to get out and practice their art and to move forward. And so that when you change the purpose of the university, you start to change everything.
So that's a big picture. Give us something narrower that just shows us how that shows any of that piece of that in action.
Well, so one way to show action is that we've also changed the way the university works. And so with the faculty the same size, we now produce 3 times the number of graduates at an always increasingly higher quality for those graduates. We do 5 times the level of research. We have 7 to 8 times the number of learners. These are huge increases. The faculty is the same size. So we changed how we work to become more efficient, more effective, more responsible, more accountable.
This was the largest university in the country when you took over. It has doubled in size since then.
Yeah, what's interesting is that we're a large university, but we are not large by comparison to university systems. We operate as a single institution because of efficiency and effectiveness. And so it also turns out that while we're producing 3 times the number of graduates that we were producing 14 years ago, we're not producing the number of graduates that we need to be producing. So in spite of our size, we're still not at the capacity level that we need to be at to be of the greatest service to the community.
What's your capacity?
The capacity is really only limited by how many people want to learn. So lifelong learning is going to become important for everyone. So people that picked up a high school diploma will want to keep taking some courses. They may not want to go to college. We'll be there with our online programs. People that have their associate's degree or didn't finish college now will want to finish college. There's 1 million of them in Arizona right now. We've got tens of thousands of them that we're working with. Go ahead and get their education. Everybody's going to be moving forward in a new world. 3 to 4 careers, 10 to 12, 15 jobs during your career, during your life. The jobs won't be the same. You'll need a different educational background, different material, different learning techniques. And so we're moving away from the notion that college is only these 18 to 22, 17 to 21-year-olds, a few graduate students. That's one element of our educational arena. We're looking at lifelong education, lifelong adaptation, lifelong engagement.
It almost sounds like you're going to be the Amazon of higher education.
I don't know that we're going to be the Amazon.
The everything store for anybody who wants to be educated.
No. So what's interesting is that we have an outmoded idea of education. We think that education is something that young people do. It turns out that things are moving too fast. So iPhones have only existed for 10 years. They've changed everything. You go to iPhones now, they can transact your business. You can run a yogurt shop off an iPhone as your CPU, running your payroll systems, your cash intake system, your ordering system, your just-in-time inventory system, all run off a computational device called an iPhone. You can interact your iPhone then and spread the word of your business through Yelp and this and this and this. None of those things even existed 10 years ago. They're now massive multi-billion-dollar businesses, hundreds of billions of dollars of the economy right now. Who would have thought any of that? How do you even prepare for that? You prepare for that by finding ways to be of service to people in learning. So we're in service of people for the purpose of enhancing learning.
So I have a question about the rankings. I see the bus every day on my way to work saying #1 in innovation, right. U.S. News. The same U.S. News ranking puts ASU number 61 among public universities. Yeah. So what's the disconnect there, #1,
so most
number
of
61?
In fact, all the universities ranked ahead of us only admit A students from high school. So rankings of the U.S. News and World Report rankings are input rankings. How many students did you not admit? Well, we still admit students with B averages from high school, and we always will admit students with B averages because it turns out that we have decided to grow the university to deal with the growth and the diversification of society. Other universities have decided to keep the universities focused on fewer and fewer students by focusing only on students with A averages from high school.
Tuition has quadrupled since you took over. However, the latest information I saw shows you project it to stabilize over the next several years.
So the way I look at tuition is a funny kind of thing. So tuition used to be almost free here. No one from the working class came. So in 1990, only 3% of the students that came to ASU were from families below the median income. So median income is half the families have less income, half have more income, only 3%. Right now, right at 50% come from the median income or below. And so we've completely restructured the institution. There are no financial barriers to attend the institution. It doesn't make any difference what the tuition is. That's the cost of attendance. What you pay as a student is dependent upon your financial aid package, your merit-based scholarships, your need-based scholarships. So the average resident of Arizona attending ASU as an undergraduate, average, what we call net tuition after grants, no loans, is $1,800 a year. We're very happy with that number. We're very happy with where we are in terms of the way that we've actually enhanced accessibility. The university has never been more diverse. The university has never been representative of the socioeconomic diversity of the state. It is now. It was never the case when tuition was almost nothing. It doesn't make any difference what tuition is. If you don't have any money, you can't pay.
And ASU keeps that net tuition low with large amounts of financial aid for students from families that earn less than $75,000 a year. Also, that surge in lower cost online students, remember, they don't need space on a campus, is also helping to hold overall tuition increases to the low single digits in coming years. When we